Hello, I'm Wang, and welcome to The Wrap. Joining me today to break down the Eagles' 37-34 victory over the Washington Redskins is Scott Allen. And boy, what a game between two fierce NFC East rivals. Came down to the wire. And the first thing I thought of, and we do this in our takeaways, is that Kirk Cousins put up some big passing numbers, 427 yards and 3 touchdowns, but when he had to make a couple throws, he didn't do it. He threw an interception late in the game, and then there was obviously miscommunication between him and Pierre Garçon, leads to an interception. Eagles take over on downs and run out the clock to win the game. What were some of the takeaways that you had? I know you wanted to talk about a little bit about the penalties and some other things.
Yeah, we knew Cousins and the offense would have to have a good day to keep up with that Eagles offense, and the Eagles offense was as advertised. I think what hurt the Redskins, one thing, is all of the penalties. 10 penalties for 131 yards. 5 of the Eagles' 22 first downs came on penalties, and against an offense that's that good and can move the ball as well as Philadelphia can't afford the penalties. The other takeaway for me real quick, all the injuries.
Sure.
Like every time you looked up, somebody else was down. A potentially serious one to D'Angelo Hall, who suffered an Achilles injury. Guys going down along the offensive line, and that's really important with this short week game coming up on Thursday against New York.
Yeah, and against another division rival, and we know Victor Cruz can really do some damage down the field if D'Angelo Hall isn't available. It'd be interesting to see how the Redskins replace that, but I would imagine that it's more an advantage for the Redskins. They're at home. The Giants have to come and travel, so obviously something we should monitor throughout the course of the week, right?
Right, exactly.
Now, Scott, let's get to our studs and duds portion of our segment here. There were a lot of duds in this game when you give up 37 points, but special teams to me was what stood out. I mean, Kai Forbath missed a field goal. The Redskins were penalized for a personal foul on a punt return, and then we saw Chris Polk of the Eagles score a 102-yard kickoff return. So breakdowns continue for a unit that has already had a punt block for a touchdown and it's already missed an extra point. And when you play games this close, 3 points, especially against division rivals, those are breakdowns that can't happen or else you're going to be out on the losing end. But on the flip side, they were able to put up a lot of points, and they were able to push the Eagles down the stretch, and there were a lot of reasons behind that. I know you wanted to talk about the wide receivers.
Sure, Kirk Cousins played well, but he also had some receivers making some incredible catches for him. Pierre Garçon, who last week had his string of 17 straight games with at least 5 catches broken, he came back in a big way today with 11 catches for over 130 yards and a touchdown, made an incredible catch along the sidelines on a great throw from Cousins. And then Deshaun Jackson, who we knew was going to play despite that sprained shoulder. His first crack at his former team. He came to play, and he made his impact felt. 81-yard touchdown catch, over 100 yards for Deshaun. So those receivers with Cousins and the offense played well enough to win today.
And we know that there's a short week for both teams, the Giants and the Redskins. I'm talking about only a few days off. We'll see about Deshaun Jackson's shoulder. We know you mentioned he played hurt. See how quickly he can recover from that. So thanks, Scott, for joining me today on The Wrap, and we'll be back again after the Redskins play the Giants on Thursday night in Week 4. Please join us then.